All right, my friends, here we are coming right at you, right? So we're going to continue right from where we left off seamlessly. All right, so as you know, we learned what the variables in the data set mean in the previous lesson. And I'm sure you noticed some variables were similar to each other. We assumed that such a study was carried out, thinking it could be used for various purposes. So that means that now I would like to remove some similar ones from the data set before inserting the variables into the machine learning algorithm so that the machine learning model will stay energized. Let's get right to it. Okay, so you can tell that I haven't refreshed the ChatGPT page, so I will build my questions on the work that we've done so far. So I'll arrive in the message section and write something like this. According to the variables information above, some variables look very similar. I want to drop some similar ones to avoid tiring the machine learning algorithm. Which variable should I drop from the data set? All right, so that seems clear enough. Let's send it and see what it says. All right, so now we're getting our answers. We'll wait for it to finish. All right, let's start seeing what it says. To avoid redundancy and improve the efficiency of your machine learning algorithm, you can consider dropping some variables that provide similar or redundant information. Well, yeah, we know that, but here's some suggestions. So it first mentions a class variable, right? This variable seems redundant as it provides information similar to the P class variable. You can consider dropping either class or P class. Okay, so we prefer to drop class from these variables because, why? Yeah, it's categorical. You know that, right? A machine learning algorithm works with numeric values, so I don't want categorical data as much as possible. All right, we'll continue on then. Next is the who variable. So this variable provides information about the gender and age category of the passenger. Since you already have the sex and age variables, you could drop the who variable. Good advice. Next is the adult male variable. So my friends, this variable indicates whether the passenger is an adult male. Since you already have the sex variable, which provides gender information, you may not need this variable. Good. So sure enough, we're also going to remove the adult male variable from the data set. And moving on, okay, so next is embark town variable. This variable represents the port of embarkation and is similar to the embarked variable. You can drop either embark town or embarked. Great. Now, these two variables have a categorical structure. When we look at their values, I will drop the embarked variable from the dataset because the embarked town variable is more understandable, I think. Okay, so finally, there's the alive variable. This variable indicates whether the passenger survived or not, which is essentially the same information as the target variable survived. ChatGPT goes on to suggest you can drop the alive variable. Now, since I want to work with a variable in numeric feature again, I'm going to drop the alive from the dataset. You see how that works. So, continuing on, ChatGPT gives suggestions for us below. Summarize removing variables from the dataset is actually an important issue. A good analysis should be done before the variable is dropped. Based on the initial analysis, we have made this decision. But if my friends want to do future engineering with these variables later, they can just leave it without reducing it. All right? I'm not going to do that study at the moment. Great. So we have now made our decisions. Let's now transfer the information here to the notebook. And first, I'll open up a cell in the notebook and markdown format and write suggestions within it. Yeah, so now I want to copy the relevant part and go into the notebook. I'll open up a cell in markdown format and paste that code into it. And I'll put an asterisk at the beginning of the lines to make the code look, well, way better. All right, so let's run the code. So check it out. We get the output that we want, right? Now let's lower the variables for this purpose. So I'll have ChatGPT do this quickly. So I'll come over here to the message section and write something like Considering the suggestions above, I want to permanently drop the following variables from the dataset in the Titanic_DF variable. Class, who, adult_male, embarked, alive. Can you write the necessary code? See, that way I'm challenging it a bit more, right? So yeah, check it out. Let's send it. All right, so now we get some answers to come in. We're going to wait for it to finish. Sure enough, it says we can achieve this goal with the drop method, and this is a necessary code. So it gives us answers explaining the code at the bottom. And look at this, because we want to reduce on a column by column basis, it sets the axis parameter to 1. Now, in order to make permanent changes, it sets the in-place parameter to true. Okay, so now I will transfer the code here to the notebook. And look, I'm taking it from here, pasting it into the code cell on the right, and now we can run the code. So my friends, we've actually achieved our goal. Okay, so let's call the dataset again. And let's see if I say titanicdf.head. Let's run the code. And there we go. Our request shows as it looks. Yeah, so I'm going to end it here. We'll wrap it up, and I'll see you next video.